Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. I apologize for the extended break, for the delay, but we have returned, and I promise the wait has been worth it because we are here with the upper bracket finals. We are here to determine who makes it to the grand finals of our very first Logic games. A big shout out to Logic, who happens to be in the chat. Again, without him, this event would not be possible, so a big shout out to our sponsors, our organizers, people like Logic, Hyper One, Reality, and I quickly make sure I don't forget anyone, Reality and Shiny as well. So much love. Thank you so much for making this event possible, and it's been an amazing event so far, but now we are down to some more PvP action, some Polish on Polish action. Let's go. As spawning in the top left-hand corner of Site Delta, we have our Polish Protoss player, the red Protoss representing Storm Gaming. It is Gerald. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the other Polish Protoss player, the blue Protoss, representing Team Blazer. It is Krystianer. Here we go again. In the absence of young Yakov, Gerald, he stepped up as the next favorite player, but he did stumble his way here. So did Krystianer, right? Forjumi forced the ace match out of Krystianer. Likewise, Shameless and Nicaract also forced the ace match out of Gerald as well. So both players, they've been taking some blows, they've been taking some hits on their way to the grand finals, but one of them will make it, the other will be knocked down and will have to fight back even harder for another chance to make it to those grand finals, as well as this is a double elimination tournament. And here we go. 2-gate opener out of Krystianer, 2 gateways out of Geralt as well. Mirrored builds for the time being, and we will soon determine our starting units here between our two players. Do we go double Adept? Do we go double Stalker? Do we go Stalker Sentry? How will we approach this PvP? In general, when it comes to this dynamic, Krystianer is typically more of the aggressing player and Geralt is more of the defending player, but their roles are quite malleable here. They do kind of take turns, they go back and forth, and they're pretty close in skill. I would say that both Krystianer and Geralt, they're vying for the #1 Protoss spot in Poland. I do think that they've both kind of risen during the era of COVID, and they've surpassed Mana in quite a way. I do kind of see them more actively. I do see them achieving a little bit more when it comes to results, when it comes to tournament performances, more so than Mana. Despite his legacy, of course, I don't want to take away from that. He's an amazing player and has a wealth of games behind him. But nowadays in modern StarCraft, it is all about Geralt and Krystianer. Krystianer, of course, recently getting top 2 in our most recent LAN in Poland in the House the House Galactic Battle, which was a month ago, just pre-IEM. Meanwhile, double Adept out of Krystianer, going into a 3rd and 4th Adept as well, so we're doubling down on the aggression. Krystianer moving out across the map. Meanwhile, Geralt opening up with double Stalker instead, and his goal to catch the Adepts. And he's in position, he's waiting for the Adepts to rock up, but he does miss them, as we do see Krystianer barely slipping by, but he does get caught. Does get seen. And so far, Geralt, he is able to keep up. 3rd and 4th Stalker on the way. Both players investing into their Stargates. Both players going into Oracles. Here we go. Oracle production is underway for Krystianer. Likewise, soon to be on the way for Geralt as well, as the Stargate is done. Pylon going to be under fire. Again, just slowing Krystianer down, keeping him busy as he does expand. Geralt also confirms that there is an expansion, or at least he confirms a Pylon. Oh, does focus on Adept, forces the recall as well. So far, good moves out of Geralt. He killed an Adept, he delayed the reinforcements, he defends his base, he expands. His expansion is later though. That's the downside here, is that the expansion is quite late and Krystianer is already moving out with the Oracle. Oh, Geralt, he does barely miss it. Moving out with his own as well. Do we have anything to defend back at home? We do not! The main base, it's so exposed, and Krystianer, he's about to just wreak havoc here in the main. Probes are going down. No shield battery, no stalkers, nothing in position, forcing a recall. And we will lose 3, 4, almost 5 probes. We barely get the 5th probe, but were we too greedy? We were not. The Oracle does make it out just barely in time. Meanwhile, across the map, likewise doing some counter damage. 2 workers go down for the time being. We get into the main, there is a shield battery, and we have defended. Krystianer, he shuts this down, he gets a kill! Gets a kill on the Oracle. Meanwhile, Krystianer, he doesn't just have one, he's up to two. With two Oracles, we can one-shot workers. The shield battery is no longer good enough. No longer good enough to defend the main base. Shield battery's on the way. Stalkers are amassing. Krystianer looking for a way into the main base. Again, he does have a lead. He's up in workers. He got his natural up faster as well, so he has a higher worker count in general. And he's moving out with the Adepts and the Oracles. He could even try and dive on these Stalkers. It would be a bold move, but he could go for the dive. As he's coming together with his 5 units. But now the Stalkers, they have reinforcements. We are now up to 5 Stalkers. We shade into the natural. Oracles, they come in from the backside, but it looks like, yeah, we don't quite come together here. Gerald, he will clean this up. He will defend. Cleans up all the Adepts. Again, that was a bit of a lackluster, a bit of a fumble there by Krystianer. Didn't get much of any damage, and he threw his Adepts away. But he's containing his opponents, and Krystianer, he gets his 3rd base up and running. So Krystianer, he has an economic lead. He extends that lead across the map. Now, instead of throwing down a Nexus, Gerald, what do we have instead? Some gateways. Faster blink, of course. Twilight counts with the blink. 3rd gateway is now done. Gerald, he could double it down on the aggression. He could go even for a 2-base all-in. We'll see if he does throw down another gate. He does. There it is. We have a 4th gateway at the natural. It is hidden here at the natural base instead. 4 gates in total. 2-base all-in. Did I say 4 gates? I meant to say 5 because we have a 5th gateway proxied across the map. It's all or nothing for Gerald. And Krystianer, he's going to have to give up this base. He has to give up this base. There's no way he can defend. He's pulling the boys. He wants to hold. He wants to save this 3rd base, but he's down in production, down in Stalkers. Probes are going down. Well, both players losing workers. We force them warping back at home. 4 probes go down at the same time. 3 probes fell here for Krystianer as he pulled the boys. Stalker counts are comparable, but Gerald still has the lead. We have a shield battery, though. We have a shield battery, soon to be an overcharge. Krystianer, if we can hold on to this 3rd, that's game. Like, again, Krystianer, he's completely all in here. Reinforcing another warp in. Like, Gerald, he cannot expand behind this unless he deals critical damage. And we're still waiting for that critical damage. Yeah, Stalker's going to be trading. The overcharge is popped. Krystianer, he holds. Behind this Robo is late. It's a late Robo, late Immortal production. It's on the way, but it's still a ways off. Oracles, they get into the natural. They eviscerate the mineral line. 5 more probes go down. Geralt losing 18 workers in total. 18 probes. That's Geralt. He does bypass the main army. Heads right into the natural base. The Robo's exposed. Yeah, there's not going to be an Immortal. As the Robo is being focused down. We go for the Stalkers. We have the high ground. We have the concave. Krystianer taking a very rough fight. He's trying to reinforce, but we have a surround. We collapse on the army, and the 2-base all-in is snowballing out of control. Krystianer with double the Stalker count. He's also buying time. The Robo is still alive. Still no Immortals. We're killing more probes. Again, this is some good economic damage. Geralt is being forced further and further all in, but his army is still massive. Overcharge is popped. Can we somehow hold on? The overcharge barely keeps the army alive. Krystianer, we're holding. We're surviving. We're trying at least. There it is. The Immortal is on the way. Krystianer, he was banking up quite a number of resources earlier. Still only on 2 gases. He can't quite afford pure Stalker warp-ins. He has to warp in Zealots. As he's running out of gas, we need a 3rd gas geyser. Oh, but charge is done. Never mind. We're good. Sorry, I didn't realize the charge was done for Krystianer. Zealots, they can buffer. They do add a lot of value here to this army, and they allow Krystianer to warp in those Immortals. Meanwhile, more probes going down. 3 more across the map. The first Immortal has arrived. And Krystianer is getting further and further ahead. He's holding! The 3rd base is safe and sound. The Immortal has arrived. Charge is done. And Krystianer, he's running away with it. The longer it goes on, the better and better it becomes for Krystianer. And Geralt, there's just not much left back at home. Does shade into the 3rd. It does kill a couple of probes. That's something. But GG gets called. The writing was on the wall. Krystianer, he survives the all-in and takes game number 1. GG. GG, well played. A solid game there out of Krystianer. was able to force the all-in, or was able to get some economic damage done, realized what was going on. I thought it was greedy. I thought it was greedy that Krystianer, he was trying to defend that third despite being down in production and down in army already. But he got away with the shield battery, got the overcharge, he eventually got into immortal production, got into charge. He held, he survived. GG, very well done. Krystianer is now one game away from advancing on here into the grand finals. Meanwhile, Gerald has to fight back here and now. He has to fight back here and now to force the ace match to have a chance at that finals. Otherwise, he's going to have to work his way up through the lower brackets. And to be fair, thankfully, there is a lower bracket, so neither one of these players are in danger of elimination. They both still have a second life, but they don't want to use it. They do want to just make their way into the finals here and now. They want to avoid that lower bracket, especially considering that, again, both Krystianer and Gerald have lost games to some of those players down there. Like, they're not heavy favorites. Like, they're not untouchable. There are threats in that lower bracket as we're getting ready here for game number 2. Speaking of threats, my condolences to all Zergs and Terran players out there. We have confirmation for Jumi did take down Nickrak 2-0. For Jumi has eliminated Nickrak from the tournament, and that spells the end of Terran in the Logic games. I mean, hey, it's all logic, mate. It's all logical here, as we only have Protoss remaining. Purely PvPs remaining here in this tournament, so strap yourselves in, because we got the first of many PvPs up ahead of us. Oh boy, let's go. And to be fair, it's a fun matchup. It is a fun matchup, especially with these players involved. So the question now becomes, who has the best PvP amongst all of our remaining players? Here we go. Spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Hard Lead, we have our Polish Protoss player, the red Protoss representing Storm Gaming. He needs to fight back here and now to force the ace match. It is Gerald. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have the other Polish Protoss, the blue Polish Protoss player representing Team Blazer, one game away from those grand finals. It is Krystianer. Here we go. This is it. It all comes down to this moment for Gerald. The pressure is on. The pressure is here. Again, this game here, it is his life here in the upper half of the bracket. As we are opening up with a 2-gate, it's going to be a 2-gate opener from Krystianer, 2-gate opener from Gerald. No one is brave enough to pull a max packs and go for a gate expand on the low ground. No, not here. Not happening. And once again, the question becomes, what are we working with? How we cooking, Bobby? How we cooking? Do we open up double adept? If you remember Krystianer, he opened up double adept into quadruple adept in game number 1. How will he open up here in game 2? Likewise, Gerald, he opened up double stalker. Now, this would be a good moment to adjust because we're loading into Hard Lead. This is the shortest rush distance map in the map pool. Very short rush distance. Aggression is favored on this map. You can be very in your face, very in the face of your opponents with very little time for your reinforcements to get across the map, so they will get there that much sooner, that much harder, that much faster. Oh boy, what's it gonna be? We've seen a lot of 1-base all-ins and 2-base all-ins on this map, and it's gonna be double adept once again. We do see the same opener from Krystianer and the same opener from Gerald. Double adept for the second game in a row, double stalker second game in a row as well. So likewise, the dynamic is going to be the same. Where Krystianer, his goal is to keep Gerald busy back at home, contain him, threaten shades, get into a mineral line and kill probes. Meanwhile, it's on Gerald to catch the adepts. His goal here is to be active with these stalkers. He will win in the head-to-head fight, catch the adepts, shut them down ahead of time, and gain control of the map and gain control of the game. As here we go, we do see a stalker follow-up from our blue Protoss player. Sorry, I was just catching up with the chat. Adepts there being called out. Oh! As we will barely shade away. Krystianer, he does survive with his adepts, does threaten that natural, does confirm that there is no natural to begin with. And Krystianer's expanding. Gerald, he's going for one base all-in. We spoke about it. We spoke about how 1 and 2 base all-ins are very common on hard lead. And here it is, proxy gateway from Gerald. But Krystianer, the reads, he saw the lack of expansion. He confirms still no expansion. Robo. What's his Robo for? Immortals. What do Immortals do? They just destroy, they shut down gateway units, specifically Stalkers. And that should be what Geralt is going for. Okay, so Geralt is expanding. He does throw down an expansion, does throw down a natural. But again, Krystianer has a very safe follow-up. With this Robo, he shouldn't die anytime soon. And Geralt will have the production advantage. He will be reinforcing across the map. He is active with his Stalkers, going for a Twilight Council follow-up. But will he commit? The gateway is done. Ooh, and we are warping in Adepts. Okay, so we're going to be harassing with Adepts across the map. Again, Geralt, he's transitioning out of this. He's expanding. Looking at Krystianer's vision, he still hasn't confirmed, but the Adepts, they will confirm the expansion. He now knows it's not an all-in. He knows he is safe to focus on his economy. Recalls back home, saves the Adepts, going into the Immortals as well. And now Krystianer is ahead. He just has straight up has a lead here. Faster expansion, he has saturation, he has workers mining. Geralt, he still has his own Nexus on the way because it's so late, it's so delayed. Now these Adepts can help make up for it, but they're being chased back. Krystianer, he missed the proxy, doesn't know where it is. That is a 4th gate on the way. So this is a very similar build to last game. Remember, last game it was a 4-gate blink all-in from Geralt, on-site Delta. How many gateways do we see now? 3 gateways, now 4th gate on the way with blink. Geralt, this is not a 1-base all-in, this is now turning into a 2-base all-in from our red Protoss. Oh boy. Here we go. Now Geralt, he's actually trying to set up a surround on these Stalkers, but alas, his surround gets broken. The Stalkers, they fan out, but they're not in position. We're forced to recall back home. Geralt's in a lot of trouble. Does bleed out a Stalker. Does bleed out a Stalker, and Krystianer, he's in the face with his Immortal. He's gonna be able to shut down Geralt before he can get his production going. Force fields are looking good. Probes are going down. Again, blink is still not done. And before Geralt can start cooking, mate, Krystianer, he's in the kitchen, papi. Oh god, he's already here. The probes, they can't even engage. The Prism has arrived, it gets focused down. It doesn't. Oh my god. The Prism will escape, just barely, but we get a full surround. 15 probes fall. But Krystianer is being focused down. He should be cleaned up. The Immortal does fall here to the Stalkers, but we have reinforcements. Again, the Prism, it barely survived. We warped in a wave of Stalkers. And Krystianer, he just cripples the economy of Geralt. And what do we have left? We are down to 23 workers. We have Blink, we have 4 gateways, but we don't even have the economy to sustain this production. We cannot even warp in 4 Stalkers at a time. Like Geralt, he was just cut off at the knees before it could really get going. And here he is, Krystianer. Like this army, it's so battered, it's so bruised. I mean, we have Blink at least, that is true. We trigger the shields. We do trigger those shields. We reinforce here with some Zealots. We dive on top of the Prism. Big pick off there by Geralt. He's doing whatever he can with this army. He's down to 8 Stalkers. But we have a 2nd Immortal. And we could just keep pushing. Krystianer, though, not liking his chances, will retreat. Ooh. We'll back up. Bleeding out a Stalker. Immortals, they just chunk away at those Stalkers. And we can see that Geralt, he hasn't made any workers. We can see that there are no probes here. The reason why, I mean, we were already all in. We try to collapse on the Immortals. Once again, a pseudo surround, but alas, Geralt, he just doesn't have the numbers. GG gets called, and Krystianer, he will take the series 2-0, advancing on to the grand finals. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations here to Krystianer. Again, he was coming in as one of the favorite players. He did stumble against Forjumi, and Geralt was so aggressive this series. He was so in his face. Game 1, 2-base all-in. Game 2, attempted 2-base all-in. But again, before Geralt could really get it going, Krystianer was able to shut him down. GG, very well played. And with that, we have our first finalist. !B. in the chat if you guys want to have a look at the bracket yourselves.